Ich sitze hier im Interviewbereich mit David Retter und ja, so, what are the new game features in FIFA 11 and how do they affect the gameplay?
Oh, wow, that's a big question. We have made hundreds of changes to the gameplay this year. Everything from the goalkeeper, defender, midfield, attack have all come in for tons of attention, as has referees and all that kind of stuff. Probably the biggest thing that affects gameplay is actually feedback that came directly from the community, which is a feature we call pro passing. We got a lot of criticism from our hardcore fans that the ping-pong passing of previous FIFAs was kind of annoying, so we took that out. We built a new passing system. It's called pro passing. It's basically three things. The first thing is how good you are at weighting your passes, how long you hold the pass button for, so you can over and under hit passes now. It's also about the attribute of the player that is making the pass, both when he's receiving the pass and also when he's making the pass. And the other big part of it is the context. The reason the attributes become important is if, as an example, if the ball's spinning, coming in from the side, has bounced a number of times or is bouncing as the player receives it, the pass becomes more difficult to do. Similarly, if you're trying to pass in an angle that the human body can't actually pass in, it's more likely to be an error-prone outcome. So essentially, if you play sensible football and don't try to do ridiculous things, you'll be rewarded. If you try to do daft stuff, then obviously it will probably fail. On top of that, we announced Personality Plus a little while ago. That's a big deal for us. It's basically the ability to distinguish between the different players on the pitch more easily from a distance, in-game, and also from the way they play football. So we have many more body types than we've ever had before. We also have a lot of new animation, including new facial animation, the players blink. And the attributes now are driving the gameplay more than ever before. So there's a lot of stuff going on there that's really important to the gameplay. We also announced a little while ago our 360-degree fight for possession. That's the first time in a football video game where players can interact in full 360 degrees on and off the ball. So you'll see players actually shielding positions and stopping players from actually pushing into them all over the pitch, whether you've got the ball or not. And also our Real AI system. Real stands for Recorded, Evaluated, Analysed and Learnt. Essentially the game now has a deeper understanding of football and can kind of see the reward of an action beyond the immediate and obvious, which is kind of cool. And also we've actually got the CPU performing skill moves these days, which is nice. The skill moves have actually been recorded by the game development team whilst we've been playing the game, and we teach it to the CPU so they know how to play it. What else? Lots of other stuff. Career mode, obviously, but that's not about gameplay. Creation Center, which kind of affects gameplay. You can make teams and you can make players online and download them. And then obviously there's the new news for Gamescom.
Yeah, that would be my next question. The new game modes.
Yeah.
You mentioned career mode. Is there anything?
Yeah, sure. So obviously career mode's a new game mode. It replaces manager mode and Be a Pro seasons. They've been removed from the game and career mode put in. It's a new game mode engine that drives a 15-season career mode for fans of the game. They can play as a player manager, or as a manager, and kind of embark on a big long campaign. One of the other things we've added obviously is Be a Pro goalkeeper. So you can now control the goalkeeper in the game in a Be a Pro style. You can obviously imagine it's not necessarily the most exciting thing to do, be a goalkeeper. So in acknowledgement of that, we've actually added some pretty special features that help support that game mode. So we call them call to actions. Basically, when your team are in possession of the ball, button call-outs come up underneath certain players, and if you press the corresponding button, that player will pass the ball or whatever. You can also get them to shoot and do through balls, the same or similar as to be a pro. Also, to help out people, we have a kind of positional indicator of where you should be, because it's kind of tough being a goalkeeper, and also a kind of line being drawn off of the ball to help you predict where the ball's going, because it's very difficult to see the trajectory of the ball. And obviously for online we have 11 versus 11.
Oh, that really sounds exciting. So I'm sure that you got a lot of feedback. And how do you handle with it? How do you integrate it? And how important is it to you, feedback at all?
Okay, so it's very important to us. I think if you look at the feature set this year and what we've got in there, it's pretty obvious that a lot of it's come about through talking to people that are fans of the game, play the game a lot and want to see improvements. So the biggest thing being pro passing, as I mentioned, is probably the bigger part of it. Naturally, we're aware that many people enjoyed playing manager mode, but we wanted to take it a step further, upgrade it and be able to do better things with it in the future. So I mentioned last year that the work we were doing on manager mode was kind of a 3-year plan, and this is kind of the second year of that 3-year plan. And you've got a new career mode for it, and then everyone has the opportunity to play as a manager, play as a player manager or player within the same universe. On top of that, we've added a bunch of other things. We've changed the way that player switching works. We've got different shaped goals if you want them. You can even adjust the tension on the nets. These are things that were asked. We've even got handball in the game, and that was a community request, even though I don't actually like handball. But
kind of slowing down the game for me. I thank you very much for your time and for this very good interview.
Okay, thanks very much. Cheers. Good to meet you, man.